Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to answer one of the big questions. Is recruitment a sales job? So Alex, the big question, right? I've been looking forward to this video.
Yeah.
It could be a quick answer, I guess. Is recruitment a sales job?
Yes.
Right, we'll see you later, guys. Yeah.
So of course it's a sales job, but there is a little bit more to it, right, man?
Yeah, I think in people's mind, when they think of a sales job, they think, okay, you've got a product or a service and you're going and you're just selling that to one kind of customer, right? I think that's the idea of how a sales job works. But if you think about it from in recruitment, that's just step one.
Yeah.
So you go, you sell your service, you agree the fee, you negotiate the terms, sign it, and then there's lots of other sales pitches which happen after that. So
to both parties.
To both parties, yeah. Introducing the candidate to the client, persuading the client to meet that person, right? Persuading the client to offer that person potentially at the end. And then on the other side, you have the candidate where you are pitching the job, right? Getting them to agree to apply, keeping them involved in the process throughout, and hopefully, coaching them, and then eventually presenting an offer and trying to sell that offer and that company, right?
So why do people might have the misconception, do you think, that, okay, recruitment is not a sales job and the goal of a recruiter is to help people, basically, right? Why do you think is that?
I think traditionally because recruitment in a company as a job function, it kind of sits in HR, basically, and HR isn't a sales function, right? So I think a lot of people really closely associate HR with recruitment. But agency recruitment is nothing like HR. It's totally different. But I think that's the perception. I think something else you said earlier, there are a few different elements which are maybe not quite pure sales. So coaching candidates, for example, right? That's kind of training the person to present themselves in the best possible way.
There's a high element of, I think, consultation as well, right? You need to advise your clients, maybe a salary range for a certain position, right? Or you have to give insights into the kind of labor market, right? To clients, benchmarking, all this kind of stuff. But ultimately, you do the consultation because you want to sell, right? I think also like a big, misconception is actually the marketing as well. So when recruitment companies market themselves primarily to candidates, usually the marketing is like, well, we're gonna help you find your dream job, right?
Our job is to pitch roles to candidates, try and get them to apply, and represent the client as best as we possibly can. And listen, I mean, sometimes, and the best part of the job is we do find people their dream jobs.
Absolutely, right? But it's not the goal, right? The goal is really, the recruiters work for their clients, not for the candidate, right? So ultimately, the goal of our recruiter is to really help clients getting a little bit of an edge and getting the best talent in the market, right?
Yeah, I think the key thing when you look at how you are kind of measured as a recruiter, that kind of seals the deal for me that it is a sales job, because ultimately you're measured on revenue. How much money do you make for the company? Just like any other sales position out there, you're going to have a financial target. You've got to bring in that amount of money, and recruitment is exactly the same. And that's how we measure people in our business, right? In any recruitment business.
In any recruitment business. Recruitment is not HR. Agency recruitment is absolutely not a talent acquisition, It is, again, it is a sales job.